Today we're gonna be working on a semi truck applying metallic film vinyl. And we have worked with this customer before, but what is supposed to be an easy job turned out to be a nightmare. So if you're planning to start your decal business from home, make sure you watch this video because you might get some tips of what to do and what not to do. So let's get started.
Today we're heading out. We're gonna take some measurements for a semi truck. We're only gonna do doors, and this is not the first time we work for this person. We have done probably 4 or 5 different projects for him, and the reason we are taking the vinyls with us is that he wants to see the actual product before we do the sticker. And we're gonna take home the diamond plate, carbon fiber, and some kind of another carbon fiber material. He wants to see the actual product, and I'm taking a little piece of vinyl so he gets an idea if he decides to add like an outline or a contour to the design. And we're also taking our measuring tape because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna measure, get an idea of how big the logo is gonna be. That way we can give them an estimate of how much it's gonna cost them. And 2 different options, like I said, with contour, and then the second one with just one color. All right, so let's head out and start working on this project.
The reason why we drove all the way was not only because he wanted to take some pictures and because he's a great customer, but also wanted to get the measurements from the semi truck. Plus, those are real good sales strategies and marketing tips, and that maybe you should consider too for big projects. All right, the measurements are going to be 43, and now we're gonna take a picture. And we gotta, yeah, he wants numbers there. 32. Okay, yeah, we're gonna just the measurements we took, take a picture, send it to the software, and then we're gonna get a clear measurement of how much material and all that. So all right, this is the other side. We're just making sure, always make sure that both sides look the same, because we used to make that mistake. We used to take measurements from one side and realize the other side has something different. But yeah, this one looks the same. All right, so we took the measurements and we're gonna send the customer an estimate of everything. We're gonna check out that trailer, the semi. We already done a project for him, so he's gonna show us something. But yeah, we're gonna go back home and work on his estimate. After we finished taking the measurements from the new project, we went to check out an older project from 2 years ago. We always like to check out older projects and get some data of how the vinyl looks like after certain years that were applied. And this is what we noticed. We noticed some of them were peeling off. So we started to record all that data for future projects and maybe customer recommendation and customer service. That is what we recommend you do. But before we move on, I invite you guys to give us a like if you're liking this video and turn on your notification bell so you are notified when we upload our next episode. Thank you. We appreciate you a lot.
All right, guys, so we have all of our specialty vinyl. We have the carbon fiber effect. This one's more like a chrome or a silver or metallic feel to it. And this one is basically the same, just a little darker. And we got the diamond plate, but they're all the same brand. The specialty vinyl, you can get them from US Cutter. We're gonna make sure to leave the links in the description of the video so you guys can get them. And also remember that we just replaced our blade, the 45 degree, and is the Graphic brand. The brand is Graphic, and we'll let you guys know as they get older the results that we get, if we're happy with the purchase or what. But I'm pretty sure you guys are guessing the results. And now when it comes to cutting the vinyl, we use the same settings. We use the right now we have it at 10, the cut force, and the speed at 31. And yeah, that's the basic information that you will need. Also, if you guys pay attention to the screen here, the logos, if you see the semi truck, one is facing one way and the other one is facing the other way, because our customer is very specific, told us specifically how he wanted the logos. He wanted the semi trucks facing the front of the truck that we're going to install the decals on, and that's why we had to modify it a little bit, but it's basically the same. I mean, we just changed that a little bit. And also when it comes to the prices, The regular vinyl, the Oracle 651 right now cost about $32, and the rolls of the same measurements and everything, except these are 25 inches wide, they cost $49.99. So like about $18 difference. So it's not really that much of a difference, but always make sure you charge additionally. Okay, that's another tip. Another tip, even though our design won't be that long, but still you gotta make sure that you align the vinyl, and this is the way we do it. I mentioned earlier that our vinyl is 25 inches instead of 24, and let me show you the from one side here. Our wheels are completely to the where they're supposed to be, and we still got quite a few of vinyl. And on this side we have even more vinyl, but it's the vinyl is a little bit bigger than 24 inches. And the way we align it, the first thing, obviously you got to make sure you pull some of the vinyl to the front and then try to align it. Same distance from here has to be about here, and if you think that you got it aligned, then just lock it and then send it to the back. And just pay attention to how much the vinyl moves. If it moves a lot, I mean it's not aligned. Yep, but again, the decal is gonna be about, let's see, let's check out the size. It's going to be not even 18 inches tall, so we don't really need to worry too much about the aligning the vinyl, but always make sure you do that when you have a bigger project. All right, so I'm gonna send the first logo, and one thing that we noticed with this vinyl is that the numbers, since they're next to the engine, I guess because of the heat, they're wearing off really bad. They look really old, but except the logo on the doors, it looks completely fine. And I think that the vinyl will last about 3 years, so you got to make sure that you tell your customer that it will last about that long if he decides to get this kind of vinyl. Okay, here we go. This is probably the third decal that we cut using this the new blades, and so far so good. We had to try several times, but we finally got the right cut force, I guess.
And of course, as you know, we're going to be working with the Graphtec CE6060. And the transfer we're going to be using is the R-Tape Clear Choice AT75. We're going to be sure to leave all the links below on the first comment.
All right, our vinyl cutter is done. And the good thing about adding the weeding boxes is that you can clearly see where you need to cut the vinyl from. And I guess this type of vinyl also helps. It's really easy to see where the vinyl cut it. The vinyl cutter did the cuttings, and I'm going to start from here. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna start weeding out, and I use the same settings for this vinyl. We may see a little bit of, or that we will need to readjust it a little bit. We'll see, I guess. We're about to find out. We don't really work with this type of vinyl that often. I think this is the only customer that we actually do this type of vinyl for. So far so good, no issues at all. This one is way easier than working with reflective vinyl. Reflective vinyl, we gave up on it. We just decided not to keep selling that because that one was a real challenge weeding it out. And this one, as you saw, it wasn't really that hard to do. Now I'm going to start weeding out from here, sorry. Yeah, you can see that it is it's got a metallic touch to it. And I'm gonna be really careful here. If you see like some areas where the vinyl, like here, it's not really falling apart, but you just gotta take your time when weeding it out. I mean, just the extra material is the one that cut like that, but I mean, like the logo didn't really, nothing happened to it, is intact. We finished weeding it out, and the next step will be to apply our transfer. We're gonna use the same transfer, the Clear Choice, the R-Tape Clear Choice AT75.1. This is not the first time that we use this transfer for this vinyl in particular, so we know that this is gonna be perfect. And so you guys get a better idea of the designs, how the semi-trucks are facing different directions. I guess you can see that in the camera. And just to let you guys know, that the vinyls that we use today, as well as the transfer, you can only get them from US Cutter. We're gonna make sure that we leave the links to each of the products so you guys can get them. We appreciate your support. Now the next step is to apply our transfer.
Most of the time, this is how we add our own transfer. But if you work alone from home, you can get the transfer roller tape that you see here. The link on the description.
Now it's time to do the installation. The first thing, we're gonna clean our surface using Rapid Tag to get better results. And it's gonna be a really easy installation. We're gonna do a dry application. So let's make sure that we clean this really good. Here's one tool that you guys should definitely get. I think the package comes with like 2 of them, but if you can see here, we have about 8 little magnets, and this is a perfect example why you're gonna need them. What we did right now, we just centered all the logos, and we asked the customer if he was okay with the way they were centered, and he approved them. So now we're ready to do the installation, but definitely make sure you get your magnets if you haven't got them yet. All right, so since we're ready to do the installation, I'm going to use a piece of tape. I'm going to place them about here, right there, and I'm still gonna use the magnets, make sure that we have extra support. And we're gonna do a dry application, and we're gonna do from the center to the bottom and then to the top. Now I can probably place another magnet here.
And remember to get the blue tape, because that's the one that does not scratch or damages the paint of the truck. And as you can see, this semi, it's kind of brand new,
almost
so
brand
you
new,
want to
yeah.
be careful with the type of tape you use. Try to avoid using the white one on metal, like especially when they're new.
And another thing now that Luis mentioned about the paint, also if you see the magnets help or avoids us using too much tape, and that way we do not mess around with the surface, you know. Yeah, we just want to stay away from that. Now it's time to do the application, and we're going to use the cutting knife to get rid of the backing paper. All right, one person can easily do this side decal, but right now it's kind of windy, and we want to make sure that everything goes well. So right now the weather is not helping very much. If you see, we are having a hard time lifting the transfer, the
Paper.
the vinyl, but it's one of those things, you know, with the weather, you never know. ¿Quieres que le pause?
Sí.
Porque este miro que va a tardar.
A few minutes later.
All right, guys, so we had to pause the video a little bit. We are having a hard time here. Our backing paper is acting up right now. Like I said, it's a little bit cold right now, and we just replaced the blade. If you've been doing this for some time, you may notice that you may already know that it takes a few tries before you get it 100%, but we're getting there. Okay, we got rid of the backing paper from the top part. Now we can finish the installation. The only challenge that we've been having right now is the backing paper, removing it. But
I think it's mainly the weather. When it's cold or humid, we notice that the vinyl acts kind of funny. On this occasion, for some reason, the transfer, I don't know if it's the transfer or the type of vinyl, it was sticking on the paper. It won't come, it won't peel.
I'm sure it has to do more with the adhesive because of the weather, but God knows what the problem is. But we figured it out. All right, Luis is going to remove it. Right now it's a little windy, and I think the temperature is like 40, something like 45. But with the windshield makes it feel like probably 37, 38.
All right, we switched because my hands got tired and cold. I'm just kidding. We're just trying to capture a thumbnail for our video, but yeah, so far it looks good. The challenge was trying to remove the transfer from the paper, but again, we managed. And now, after we're done removing the transfer, we're gonna work on that and the back one and put, I believe, a little number on the front. So here's an exclusive shot and behind the scenes clip so you can see how we struggle to remove the transfer from the paper letter by letter. It was probably due to the weather,
but also could be the cut force. So you never know, but you better be prepared for those challenges. But after a few more minutes, we finally got done, and this is the result.
Well, this is it for this episode, guys, and this is the end result. Hopefully you guys gather some new information. And before we go, let me show you the I believe we did this like over 2 years ago, and this is what we were talking about, that maybe this has to do with the numbers or the vinyl being close to the vent or whatever's called. The heat from the engine comes from here, and maybe that's what did it. So that's what we really think it happened here, because if you take a look here, this one looks in better shape than this one. As you're watching on this clip, something similar happened to this truck when we were removing the vinyl. It got stick really good on the hood, so we were struggling a lot, and that has to do with maybe the heat from the engine. But yeah, anyway, so be sure to give us a like if you like this video, and yeah, this is it, and hopefully you catch us on the next episode too. And don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you get notified when we upload a new episode. See you guys again soon.